Today, 7th of November, we celebrate the feast day of our Father Founder, Blessed Francisco Palau Ike, a Discalced Carmelite priest, a man impassioned with the Church. Francisco Palau was born in Aitona, Lerida in Spain in the year 1811 on 29th of December. And the same day he was born, the same day he was baptized, to keep the local custom of that time. Francisco was the seventh of 9 children of Jose Palau and Maria Antonia Ike, who were fervent royalists and devout Catholics. Francisco's birth occurred when Spain was passing through a dangerous period brought about by the French invasion of Spain. Coming from a poor family, he had the experience of what it entails to be poor. This experience is said to have influenced him to be charitable to the poor, the less privileged in the society. Although the family was poor, they were modest. They knew how to manage their own resources, which they earned from their labor from the fields, as well as reaching out to their neighbor. At the age of 14, Francisco decided to become a priest, and he enrolled in the diocesan seminary in that city in October 1828. He was granted a scholarship with full tuition, room and board, through the help of his parish priest, who was impressed by his good conduct. In the course of his seminary studies, Francisco came to know about the Discalced Carmelite friars. He learned gradually of the great prophet Elijah and the life of the teaching of Mother Teresa of Jesus. He discovered more about St. John of the Cross, which made him to love silence and withdraw in solitude. He was very sure of his Carmelite vocation to the extent that he wrote, "To live in Carmel, I desire only one thing, and that is vocation." This moved him to be passionate with love of God. And on 20th March 1872, surrounded by a group of his spiritual sons and daughters, Blessed Francisco Palau rested in peace and pronounced his final invocation to the Church, invoking all that he had written in his last exclamation of his Holy Mother, St. Teresa of Jesus. And he said, "Oh, how sweet, how pleasant, how delightful it must be to rest in the arms of a virgin, so pure as the Church triumphant." His motto remain in Tarragona, and there his fame of sanctity lives. It lives on in numerous places of Catalonia and in the whole of Spain. The name Blessed Francisco Palau resounds through the whole world where the Carmelite missionaries are present. On 24th April in the year 1988, Pope John Paul II proclaimed Blessed Francisco Palau as blessed, which was a privilege occasion to re-encounter the charism of the Carmelite missionaries and to honor a joyful ecclesial celebration, his personage, his message. His feast day is celebrated today, 7th of November. The life and death of Father Francisco Palau left a deep mark not only to the sisters he founded, but in all the persons who were lucky to have known him. since he died working and fighting for the faith. Here are some of the aspects Father Francisco Palau emphasized in his lifetime, the legacy he left for us, such as standing firm in every situation of life, prayer, love of the church, love of God and neighbor, and love of Mary. Let us see now in few words how our sisters express these aspects.
Man of all times means that a man who stands firm in whatever he's doing, even when in difficult times, in challenges, is always there without being afraid. He stands firm in order to reach the goal of his aim. That's why for Father Palau stands firm even in times of difficulties, in challenges. He stood there without being discouraged. In trials, he always there in order to reach the goal that he was looking for.
Love of God and neighbor is the charism of our congregation. And for Father Palau, he says that his mission is to announce to the people that God is lovable and beautiful, and for people to love God in return. So as Carmelite missionary, we experience God in prayer. There we learn to love Him and appreciate Him. And from there also, we are being transformed. And through that transformation, we'll bring the love of Christ to people and bring them to love God in return.
For Father Palau, he was able to persevere in all kinds of challenges and difficulties because of his communion with God. And Father Palau encourages we, the daughters, to persevere in prayer, to be contemplative in action, so that we'll be able to be another Christ to all the people around us.
The church is infinitely lovable and beautiful. It is beautiful because it possesses all the perfection and attributes from the image of God. And it was his mission here on earth to proclaim to the whole world that church is infinitely beautiful and lovable, and tell people to love her. The same to us that by the virtue of baptism, we are missionaries. We are being sent to proclaim this love of God to all over the world.
Father Palau places a special emphasis on the missionary aspects of Marian devotion and refers to the advocates of Carmel widely as the missionary virgin. Again, Mary is portrayed by Francisco Palau as an illustration of kind of love that prioritizes the weak, the destitute. These are marginalized people in our society.